Welcome back, all. Daz from Model Techniques. Okay, up this week we're looking at a LocoNet viewer. So what I mean by that is it's an Arduino based ESP32 device called the IOTT Stick, which is by Hans Tanner. I will link to all this below. This little guy can receive LocoNet, DCC and OpenLCC commands depending on how you configure it and set it up. So obviously we're going to be looking at the LocoNet side of things. So it is a handy little device which interfaces with a user interface on your mobile phone, tablet or your PC, and you can troubleshoot the LocoNet architecture. Okay, so you might be asking why go to all this trouble. LocoNet should be plug and play. Sometimes it's not doing that, particularly if you want to do some testing. So what I find, it's obviously a very useful tool, and secondly, it's just a fun little build. So this is obviously my journey on how I integrated it and got it up and running. So some sort of case study. So we'll look at some sort of case study. So let's say you're trying to fault find some sort of hidden yard or hidden staging type things that's actually hard to get to actually put some sort of current drawing device to say fire off some occupancy detection. So if you want to say test that side of things with this little tool, you can run your locomotive in, you can run it up and down all the different tracks, and you can actually see in the palm of your hand that to make sure that the LocoNet side of things is working correctly. You can also look at point and switch machines to make sure that they're all firing correctly in regards to the DCC addresses and the like. Also, getting a little more complicated, well, from my point of view, is locomotive slot management within your command station and also the functions. And that's just to name a few. This obviously gives you the full LocoNet hexadecimal codes, which is obviously a whole lot of gobbledygook to me, but you more learned people out there would understand what this is all about. So as I said, this is my journey on how I'm using it and how I set it up, obviously with some great help from Hans Tanner. So thank you very much, and a big shout out to him. So if this sort of thing interests you, without further ado, let's get cracking. MRT scale prints, helping you to add realism to your model railway. We are producing craftsman quality prints in various scales, including HO, O and N scales. We are proudly Australian owned and operated. www.modelrailroadtechniques.com. So this video is going to have the assumption that you have some sort of knowledge in two areas and have it up and running. So the first one being Node Red. So what Node Red is, it's a flow-based development tool for visual programming. So you can sort of see here all the nodes and all this over here. And there's different nodes that do different functions effectively. So I won't go through all of them because the scope of this application is phenomenal, and I'm still just learning it myself. But we're just going to use some basic nodes that Hans will effectively in his programming will automatically program and inject onto your screen. So the other standard we need to look at briefly on is MQTT. So what is MQTT? So my understanding of it is, in short, it's a very lightweight publish subscribe machine-to-machine network protocol. It's designed for connections with remote locations that have devices with resource constraints or limited bandwidth. So this is probably the beauty of it. It doesn't take a lot of bandwidth off your Wi-Fi. If your bandwidth poor, you've got many other IoT devices running. Basically, also what is required for MQTT is a broker. So there's two main ways that I know of that you can actually use it. So you can set up your own broker. This video, I'm not going to show you how to do that. There's plenty of videos out there that show you how to do it. I actually have set up my own broker on a remote machine via a protocol called Mosquito. And also there's another one which is cloud-based. So the cloud-based ones are free to access. However, there is some issues that could become problematic if you're running whole layout where people might be able to come into your system and control your layout effectively, so it's not as secure. All right, quickly what we'll show you is the full system that's up and working. Then I'll show you step by step how you get to this point. So currently this UI or user interface is on my desktop computer just for ease. So pretty well you can imagine if this is on your mobile phone, obviously the screen's not be quite as large as this, but that whole bar will be sort of the width of your mobile phone up to that sort of that whole area there. So that's sort of which is quite a good size for a mobile phone or tablet. So this little black box here to the left here is my DR5000 soft interface where I can switch things on and off. So just give you some sort of idea. So we're currently, our power button is off, which is this red one. You can see the red LED. If I go and just click on the left button, which now gives the power off, and then you can see that switch power main is now on. If I now go to off, now we've got the power off. So just to be mindful, the order it goes in, so the very top is the most recent message. So we'll bring up a little switch decoder in on, doesn't matter, on address 88. So this is for turnout addresses, and you can see how turnout address set address 81 to closed. Okay, so that's that. I can go across to 96, do the same. So you can see the power of this little guy. You can sort of just see to make sure things are firing off in the LocoNet world. Okay, so we'll just quickly put the locomotive source panel up. So I've just cleared the screen off there, so it's a bit easier to see. So we've now got the light. So set function group 1 for slot 2, and then go. So it gives the hexadecimal code. Give that as function 1, what it looks like when you start powering up. Loco speed, slot 2. So obviously this locomotive's taken slot number 2 in the slot management. And you can see here, we've gone from speed set 3, 4, 6, 7. We'll go all the way up to 127. All right, and then we can come back down. So it's a good little ready reckoner to show you what is going on in a given set of track. It might be a new power district or the light that you just want to test to make sure the LocoNet is working correctly. So we'll quickly look at the hardware that's required for this. So this little guy, this little orange box, ready orange box here with the M5 on it, this is the IOTT stick. So this is the Arduino base ESP32 loaded with Hans's sketches on it. And also here's LocoNet interface. So I just want to make it very clear here, I've paid for all these products. This is just my journey. I reached out to him and he allowed me to look at doing a video. So this cable here, we've got 2 connections out the back of the IOTT stick. This is the one that goes to the power via the USB. And then we've got the Grove port which sits in underneath here that goes to the interface here. So then out the back end here, we've got 2 LocoNet ports, I should say, RJ12s, and the LocoNet cable that will go out to your command station. So obviously for this you need some sort of DCC command station that has some sort of LocoNet capability. What we're going to look at here is downloading the JSON file from Hans Tanner's IOTT GitHub, and I'll put the link to it below and also the video this refers to. So this is sort of where I came undone a little bit. What I was doing is just going into this revision number 3, which is the one we're going to use, opening it up, and then just copying and pasting that into my Node Red nodes. So Hans, thank you very much for your help in regards to that and putting me in the right direction of what I actually need to do. So what you actually do need to do is go over to this code button here in GitHub, and just a left click on it, and then you download to zip. And what that's going to do is download it to your downloads folder. So we quickly just obviously open that up. And obviously I've downloaded this a few times. So what we need to then do, depending on whatever, this is on a PC Win 10 machine, it's just a matter of extracting. And then you come out with a whole lot of programs or scripts that look like this. As I said, we're going to look at doing LocoNet Viewer Flow revision number 3. Once we've got the file extracted in our downloads folder, it's just a matter of bringing up your notepad of choice. So this is Notepad++. So with that, you open up a new tab, and that's just a matter of dragging and dropping the code into the notepad. And then we need to then grab all that code and copy it. And now we'll just head across into our Node Red. All right, I've already got it there. So what we need to now look at doing is we go over to the three horizontal lines here. We'll go to import, and that brings up a screen like that. So then from there, it's just a right click, paste that code into that little box, execute it, and then what you're going to find is this is on Hans' video, he only has the 4 nodes, but now he's added this plain English node, which I'll explain a little bit further on in the video. So with that, you get these nodes. So all the hard work's done. I'll invite you to go across if you want to have a deep dive into the code, particularly on the LocoNet viewer, because this is where it sort of most of the code sits. I won't give it justice by even trying to explain how it works. So I'll link below to Hans' video if you're interested in that side of things. So this will assume that you've set up some sort of MQTT server. There's numerous videos out there how you might do that. I use my own personal one on a localized machine that I'm running Home Assistant on as well to automate my home. So what you then need to look at doing is once you point your browser to your IOTT stick, it's just a matter of setting up the MQTT server, the correct port, 1883. Now the big one is obviously the LocoNet broadcast topic. So that's the MQTT topic that you're going to publish out on, and you're going to subscribe to other ends to be able to pick up the LocoNet data. So I just kept it nice and simple and used the one similar to Hans, LN, so LocoNet in or LN in, all lowercase. So he's going to make sure whatever you put here, you put across in your MQTT in node on Node Red, which we'll get to in a sec. Just a matter of saving and restarting on that, and it'll save and reset. What it'll do, reset the IOTT stick, and it'll log back onto your Wi-Fi network, that is. All right, so we're back in Node Red to set up our MQTT input node. So it's just a matter of what we actually do here is I'll show you. I won't use my broker. I'll show you how to set up just what they call a public broker. Now, it's not suggested once you get this up and running so much if you're going to go down the MQTT route is to have set up your own broker, whether it's on a Raspberry Pi or a local Windows machine like mine. So I'll show you how to quickly in Node Red how you add a new broker. So we've gone into the MQTT node. Then it's just a matter of add new broker, go to the little pen there. Now I'm just going to use what's called broker hive mq.com. So that's a public broker on the port number 1883, and just leave everything else the same there. So with that, we go just push done and then push deploy on that, and hopefully that should see. We can see over here we're now connected to that broker. So what I'll quickly show you is the MQTT messages moving around. So currently I've got here is MQTT Explorer, same broker, so public broker, sorry, as put in on the Node Red MQTT node. It's just a matter of connecting on that, and we come up with this screen here. So what we're going to look at doing is, so what we can look at doing just to make sure that our Node Red is working correctly here, what I can actually do is you can go over to this little bug thing, which is the debug mode, and with this node here, which is the debug node. So what that actually does is any information that's coming out of the MQTT node, it'll show you in a graphical form the LocoNet messages here. That's just to make sure that our LocoNet side of things is actually set up and our payload in regards to the messaging is correct, or the topic I should say, not the payload. So I'll just quickly go back over to that here. So what we'll do, we'll publish on the LocoNet in topic. And all being equal, so disregard that issue at the top there. But basically what we've done, I've just via the MQTT broker.hivemq.com broker, I've just put this little message in, hi world. We can do another one. And we can publish on that as well. And so that's, now I know that the MQTT side of things is working correctly. So the other little test I like doing just to make sure the LocoNet side of things is working correctly within Node Red is still using this payload, this debug node I should say, just to make sure that within the LocoNet world or the LocoNet architecture that actually the correct messages are coming across. So on screen here is my DR5000 central station soft controller, so to speak, so I can access anything on this controller via this little program. So you'll see here on the right hand side here I've got the debug window set up, and then we've currently got power off. You can see the red button here, and if I was just to toggle that on, we can see that we're getting a message come in from topic LNIN. So that's the topic that we have set up or published over here. And then what that's done is just gone via the payload and given us a JSON string. So I can switch that off. So obviously there's a whole lot of code there that doesn't mean a lot to me. So this is the beauty of what Hans done here with what happens over here in the LocoNet viewer via the JSON node. It puts it out into plain English, so you and I, in layman's terms, can look at something and go, okay, that is switch number 24 has been switched to divert, or whatever you're using in the LocoNet world. So to give you an idea, I'll just cancel that off. We'll go back in. We'll just go drive. So this is just the soft controller. We'll just go into the soft controller. So obviously a LocoNet message comes out for that. So loco address number 182. We'll go function 1, and you'll see the LocoNet messages that comes via IOTT Stick. So let's quickly get out of all of that. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to go into, this is the UI. So this is the user interface. So this is the beauty of this. So what you're seeing here is my PC screen, but it looks exactly the same as if it's on a mobile device, whether it's a tablet, iPad, Android, phone, Apple, Android. So currently what you need to do is you need to go and justify what information you want to see. So the first thing you need to go is into display. So what you actually want to see here. So I'm just going to show, say, timestamps, and let's go to show opcode, because this is the raw data that comes out. So what I'll just quickly toggle on my controller again. I'll just get that off screen so you can actually see the whole display. So this is now the opcode in the LocoNet world for power on, power off. Okay, so let's just clear that out. So then we'll just go plain English. Let's do this plain English version. So you can see switch track main power on, and then switch back main power off. So just to let you know, the way this works is the most recent message is at the top. which makes absolute sense, just to let you know that. So if I was then to go over to turn on the soft controller, so that's the LocoNet message that's sent out for the Digitracks, the DR5000, and I've got the same 182 Loco. So I've still got the same Loco address up, which is 182. So I've just pushed function number 1. So that's what you see. So you can drill down a lot further as well. So I've selected all of these. So what I suppose the beauty of this is, if you've got trains running around on the LocoNet world and you're doing some testing and all you want to see is block occupancy or something similar, you can just tick that. So it's just a matter of clear all, and then I can just go track power and let's say switches, and we can save on that. Just clear that off, and we'll go into my, so basically I've just gone into this is the DigiKeys switchboard properties. So it's just like a little soft panel. I'll just get that off screen. So we're just going to go turn out address number 1 and click that. So what that's done, it's showed within the LocoNet world. So switch number 1, go number 4. So that represents, if I then go up to say turn out address number 96, let's just clear that. So we've got only one few messages coming in. So switch number 96. So that refers to the address in the LocoNet world that you would then put into your controller or into your JMRI or train controller, whatever you're using. So that's the end of this video at this point in time. So please comment below if there's any questions. If I don't know them, I'll reach out to Hans again and get him to answer them for you. So as I said, I don't know this code very intimately at all. So he'd be your man if you got real technical questions. Now, obviously this video required some sort of knowledge regarding Node Red and MQTT brokers and sort of how the pub-sub architecture works. So I try to explain it the best as I could. So if you do have any questions regarding it, I can point you in the directions of some good videos. So I hope you like the video. It's probably one of the ones of my sort of extending myself regarding the more technical side of things, regarding a part of the model railway world I'm trying to get into and try to master myself. So this is very much a dip my toe in and see whether I actually can do it. And I did have a lot of fun making this video, and also I look forward to using this smart little tool into the future with my LocoNet architecture. So if there's any other videos you'd like me to touch on in my very, very layman's world regarding the electronic side of things, please reach out. And I hope you enjoyed it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Make sure you subscribe, click that little bell icon to be notified of upcoming videos. Support us on Patreon, like us on Facebook and Instagram at Model Railroad Technique.